Diego. And to those of you who say that the morning drive videos, they enjoy them, especially those who are out of the country, because it gives them a chance to see home. So when I'm on a mission, I could do a live if I'm by myself, because they always have issues that we need to talk about. And the most pressing issue to me, taken away from that disrespectful press conference, I mean, the Prime Minister was rude, he was boorish, he was disrespectful. The man needs to be fired. The man needs to be fired. Nowhere else in the world would a government leader talk to his people like that. Talk to the people. I don't even his people, not your people. You're working for the people. Nowhere else in the world could a president of the United States or a prime minister of New Zealand or England talk to the people. Maybe in them African warlord states, maybe in Iraq, maybe in Syria. Because my people escaped Syria because Syria is a nasty place, you know. If you have money and you're in Syria, it's the same thing like if you have money and you're in Venezuela, you will benefit. But Syria is generally a nasty, nasty place. But anyway, the Prime Minister yesterday should have been fired. Should have been fired for the way he spoke to the people. Today, the media should be hounding him outside his office, outside the president, outside the Prime Minister's residence, hounding him. There should be massive furor in the media. Where's Dominic Kali-Prasad, who twists his little jockey shorts in a knot over Anil Roberts at room 201 and had to track down Kamala's cell number and call her while she was sleeping? How come Dominic? What happened, Dominic? You stop wearing jockey shorts? Or your P&M jockey shorts showing? How come you all don't do the same thing for the other side and expect people to want to respect you all? How come? And that's why I have to keep exposing you all for your foolishness. But it's not this I call for. I'm doing this live for, you know. What I'm doing this live for today is that piece of open deceit about a non-disclosure agreement. I tell you, since he made that statement, I have been researching. And there are nobody else who insisting on international non-disclosure agreements. Nobody else. Politicians are liars. Most politicians are thieves worldwide. The world knows this. 90% of the systems in place in public office is to protect the public from public office holders. Politicians are not the best of us, you know. Generally, politicians are the worst of us, the most zealous and deviant. That's what rises to the top, not the cream. So we have to have systems in place to protect us from theft. Politicians will sell their mother for more money. So when you're telling me that you have non-disclosure agreements to protect what? China don't have to protect nothing. China's a signatory to nothing. China don't take on nobody in the world. China's a bully and a thug. So China don't need no non-disclosure agreement. So this bullshit. He used another press conference to bullshit the people. But like Macbeth, those of you who didn't read Shakespeare, you see this thing? Those whom God wished to destroy, he first makes mad. You see that truth? You see Keith Rowley yesterday? That was the rant of a madman. The rant of a madman. Keith Rowley yesterday. But how late he does go to bed and how early he does wake up. Bullshit. Bullshit. That know your job, that know the role. You're lying to people now. You're openly lying to people. And all of your sins, Keith Rowley, coming back to haunt you. That is why Hafiz Karamat walk around this country smelling like a dead man. Before he dead. Before he finally expire and release the ghost. Hafiz Karamat smelt like a corpse. Like the morgue. Like something you would have dig up in the cemetery. Because he was a nasty, nasty man. And your sins, Rowley. Make peace, brother. Make peace. Because you have to realize you don't have a good legacy. You sanitized Chambers. And up till now, Chambers was the most laughed at Prime Minister. You are going to be a joke. The country is going to be relieved when we get you out of that office. And it is only because Eric Williams was such a disgusting crook himself that in 1976 he removed the provisions to fire parliamentarians and prime ministers. So that PNM is a crooked den of corruption, a cult of sin and depravity. So you're telling people that when you no longer prime minister, they mustn't think you was corrupt. Brother, you is the man who oversee the transmission of invisible oil. Invisible oil. That your partner billed the state for 100 million and suing the state for fraud while he has a criminal investigation against him. That your partner. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. But you want to tell the nation that China insists on a non-disclosure agreement. And I rack in my brain trying to figure out how a nation as crooked and disconnected as China would lead or benefit from a non-disclosure agreement. I can't find one. I can't find one. There's nothing proprietary. I mean, they have their own formula. If you say they don't want you to disclose their formula. But America don't have, from the first one that China sell, America get half. That is the world, because the first one America sell, China get half. And the only reason I could think for you making such a stink mess of our vaccine acquisition, because again, even your friends tell you, you made a shit mess of the acquisition of vaccines. So if vaccines, even if vaccines was the solution, you made a mess of that. You've made a mess of everything. Your entire legacy is one big shit mess. The economy was a total mess prior to 2019, December, COVID-19 arrived on the scene. You and Imbert run through that economy like a dose of salt, destroy it, mash it up, mash up the Tobago ferry system, mash up everything. Everything all it touch, like two reverse King Midas, everything all it touch turned to shit. You and Imbert. A cabinet of agenda whores. Rohan Sinanan building a highway to his wife pleasure palace in Manzanilla. I want to tell me when you're no longer, but you just lie so easy. You just lie as easy as some people just go to the toilet. You just lie. You open your mouth. If people ask how you know Rowley lying, his lips moving. Every time you talk, there's no reason for China to want a non-disclosure agreement. And the only reason that you made a mess of getting us to get Pfizer and Moderna and any of the other functional vaccines, because we online to get shit and we getting shit last. Nobody in the world wants Sinopharm. The reason we getting 800,000, we get 8 million if we want. We get as much as we want because nobody else on the planet wants Sinopharm. As long as you could get the good ones. Sinopharm is the lanyard. And the rest of the world telling you it don't work, it's not good, and they don't want it in their country, so they're stopping it at the border. So you're flashing that vaccine card that you have Sinopharm. They say, well, brother, 21 days quarantine for you to come in the country. Because nobody recognizing Sinopharm. And the only reason I think that we didn't get on all of the things that you come and lie to people about, because the Americans wanted to help the world. But they push America hand away and say we're waiting to deal with China. China is we friend. But it's more than that. Because I think that all you're using this Chinese vaccine acquisition to thief taxpayers' money. That is the only reason, because I'm asking myself, you buy 800,000 vaccinations. That's $1,000 a vaccine, because I sure as the kind of numbers, all you're working at $8 billion. How you hiding that? When the Auditor General looks at the income and expense statement, where that money hiding? In column drawers? There's no room in column drawers for that. Where you hiding it? It must show up. It comes as part of our budget. We are no secret slush. I mean, we have secret slush funds that you all use for banditry. I know. The $60 billion that we have as a budget every year, about $30 billion is theft. But you already had that $30 billion for theft. So are you going to thief from the thief fund Or are you going to use vaccine and COVID-19 to thief more? Are you going to thief more? How are you hiding that? So it makes no sense. It makes no sense to lie to the journalists who going on, if they were real journalists. Look, Rowley, look your $53 million police station. $43 million more than it should have cost. Look at there. You want to make sure when you're no longer Prime Minister, you didn't lead a corrupt cabinet. You lead the most corrupt cabinet. Everything you said was a lie. And when we get inside of there and start to see the real consequences of your criminal cabal, is then Trinidad will know. Don't waste your time lying now, because night could run, they will catch it. As sure as the sun will rise. Night will run and they will catch it. We will know all that you do. You can't hide it, because they have to have an income and an expense thread. At some point, somebody pay for it and somebody buy it. And somebody sell it. And two threads that transaction. Look here, I just passed $100 million fish market. Rowley. Think we ain't no partner? You're running the most corrupt government the country has ever known. You and your hairy back partners. Most corrupt cabinet the country has ever known. And I come down Chaguaramas again to show Trinidad evidence of corruption. This morning, I get a call about an action that I'm going to see for myself. And if it's so, partner, listen now. If it's so, I'm going to wait to see. So I will drive down Chaguaramas. All you need to start contributing to this gasway. It's like Chaguaramas is their favorite place. They're using Chaguaramas and calling it the army, but you have the Coast Guard bathing in a standpipe. Army men writing me and telling me, boss, we can't even get we pay. We can't get we medals. You know the government is making the soldiers pay for their own medals? These nasty, nasty people, boy. You make soldiers have to pay for their own medals, so they can't get a medal, boy. What disgusting country this is. Look at this beautiful land now. If you open your eyes when I'm on these drives and look at this beautiful Trinidad and Tobago, and then realize that it is criminals that we have had in government that have spoiled everything. You think everybody in every position that corrupt want to be corrupt? You think all them small men in all of the law enforcement agencies, in all of the public service, you think all of them who take the little bribe and have to take, people need to live? You made life hard. You made life hard. All you made life hard. You did nothing of substance, nothing of value. The country is shit except for people like Chinley, paying $2,500 a year to rent Pier 1. Most prime property in Chaguaramas. All you treat all your friends nice, feed them, fold their belly, and let them walk around like successful businessmen. Watch me. Little dicks and pussies pretending they're successful businessmen only because they're connected to the corrupt and criminal PNM. And baby PNM UNC. Because UNC is baby PNM. And they might have thief more, I don't know. I don't have the numbers. We've never had a government outside of PNM and UNC to go in there and really check. The last one we had, the same contract mafia finance a madman and send him in there with guns and the whole prime minister hostage. That's the craziness of this country. Our whole legacy is built around theft. Eric Williams, may you rot for eternity, brother. May the Christ, I tell you, there should be a hall in hell for Williams and Chambers and Manning. Let the tears and the pain, especially of the grandchildren of Africa, echo in your head for all eternity. Or they make a mockery of people. Make a mockery of this country. Move out the grandchildren of Africa from being able to take the little swim down in Chacacabana and Chagville and make it 5 islands for your partner and them to make a money. So you need to care about people. My ass. This is Trinidad and Tobago. Here, politics is for theft. Down here, everything is for theft. So don't come and tell people about non-disclosure. That's bullshit. In one Google search, I find out what Israel pay Pfizer for their vaccine. So I can contrast and compare and build a case and use a comparison. So all of that is theft and all of that is lie. All of it. But anyway, give me a minute. I'm doing something.